Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of Sophocles' Philoktetes, and I got up to line 86. So Odysseus has told Neoptolemos that he has to lie and he has to be deceptive. And he says, put aside your normal sense of doing the right thing, and eventually you'll be shown to have done the right thing eventually. So do this bad thing now, and then he says later on, in future time then be called the most pious of all mortals. And Neoptolemos replies, Ego men hus anton logon algo kluon. This is a partitive genitive in here, and we've got a usual relative pronoun, and we have to supply the antecedent. So it's something like those of words hearing. So whatever of the words hearing, I hate, I dislike. So whatever of the words spoken I have disliked hearing, son of Laertes, I also hate, I also would be loath to carry out these things. So this relative pronoun here is relative of this tusti here, I think. It's typical of Sophocles and of Greek. So the sense is, some of the words, it's partitive genitive, some of the words that hearing I am distressed at, son of Laertes, these also I am loath to put into practice. So I am loath to carry out, for prasein. 4. Ephun uden. Literally, I was born in respect of nothing. So I was not in any way born to carry out, to do things as a result of base trickery. So in other words, it is not in my nature, you could paraphrase this. So it is not in my nature to carry out things as a result, to carry out anything as a result, or to carry out things as a result of base trickery. Uti hutos ute hos phasin, huk fusas eme. Now this is ho and ek fusas. You see my scribble in the margin here. Ho ek fusas. So nor was neither he, and then it repeats, nor as they say, the one having borne me. Now the autos here, it could be myself. So neither myself nor, as they say, the one having begotten me. Now he says hos phasin, as they say, because he disappeared off shortly after Neoptolemos was conceived, so he hasn't actually met up with him. Al aim hetoimos pros bianton andra again kai me doloisin. But I am prepared to bring this man pros bian by force and not by guile. Uga ex henos podos. Literally, not from 1 foot. The emphasis here is really on the fact that Philoktetes has one of his feet is diseased, and so he's really can only walk on 1 foot properly. We might paraphrase this as something like single-handedly. So for not on 1 foot, or by means of 1 foot, will he overpower or subdue us, such as we are, by force. But, however, having been sent, aorist passive from Pempo, having been sent in fact, however, to you as a xun ergates. Now it's interesting here, this means a fellow worker. Now remember that Odysseus has been referring to him as a subordinate and emphasizing that he should do as he's told. And here Neoptolemos subtly gets in here that I'm not a subordinate, I'm a fellow worker. And ocno, from ocneo, I shrink. So indeed, at least, having been sent as a fellow worker with you, I shrink, I shrink from I shrink to be called a prodotes, a traitor. From you get prodidamai, prodotes is a traitor. So I shrink back from being called a traitor. Bulamai de, but I wish, O Lord, ex hamartein, to fail, acting nobly, rather than to win, understand, acting basely. So I would rather, I would prefer, O Lord, to fail completely. The X is very emphatic. To fail completely, acting nobly, rather than to prevail basely. Esthlu patros pai, son of a noble father. Kai autos on neos pote glosan men argon kera de ekon ergatin. And I myself, when I was once a young man, so being once a young man, I had a tongue which was argon. This is for ergon, alpha privative plus ergon. So I had a tongue which was perhaps inactive, but a hand that was ergatin, was active or industrious. But now, ex eon, literally going forth to the test. So now, having undergone scrutiny, having gone forth to the test, I see that for mortals the tongue is, well, guiding all things, and is not ta erga, and is not well, inactive, is not powerless. Sorry, it's not. It's ta erga. So it's ta erga. So, and not deeds. So I'll do that bit again. So but now, having come to the test, I see for mortals that the tongue, not works, is the thing guiding all things. Tiun me anogas ala plain pseude legain. That's a question. Why then do you? What then do you bid me to say? What other thing do you bid me to say apart from lies? So apart from the lies, what else do you bid me to say? Lego se ego, I say that you, so I'm telling you to take, this means to capture here, not to kill, I think, to take Philoktetes by guile. Tiden in golode malon a passant again. And why is it necessary, understand for me, so why is it necessary to lead him, understood, by means of guile, and not having persuaded him, or rather than having persuaded him? So why understand, you've got to understand the day. Why is it necessary, it's there. Why is it necessary for me to lead him, to bring him by guile, rather than having persuaded him? Ume pithetai, this is ume plus the subjunctive, and this is the middle, so it means to obey. He would never obey, I think. Perhaps be persuaded. He would never be persuaded. He would never obey. You would not take him by force. In other words, if you tried to, you wouldn't be able to. This is very Greek. You would not be able to take him by force. Houtos eke tidenon iskouos thorasos. Another question here. Literally, does he have such a strange confidence of strength? So we might say in his strength, or coming from his strength, using an ablatival use of the genitive. And this is a genitive from iskous, meaning strength. So does he have then some incredible boldness or confidence coming from his strength? And the reply is, understand, he has inescapable arrows, and ones with, this is agreeing back with the arrows, so arrows that are inescapable and which accompany or escort phonon, death. So he says, it's all based on eke, so does he have boldness? And he says, no, he has inescapable arrows, and so he has arrows which are inescapable and which accompany phonon, death. Uk arakena ge u di prosmexai thrasu, and a question again. So now it's a question. It's expecting the answer yes. So does he have? So that I think you've got to supply something here. So this is from prosmignumi, to approach him confidently. So let us understand, it is not. So is it not possible then, understood, for someone to approach this man confidently, so that a man may not even dare to confidently approach him? Literally, even so even to approach this man is a thing which cannot be done confidently. It's a very difficult line, that one. No, except indeed having taken him by guile, as I say. Uk iskron hege data tapsude legain. A question again. Is it not? Do you not think? This is from Hege Amai. Do you not think it a disgraceful thing then to speak lies? No, says Odysseus. A to sathenai get top pseudos fere. So if in fact, now we get articular infinitive here. This is from Sodzo. So no, if in fact salvation brings, sorry, no, it's the other way around. If a lie, if deceit brings salvation. Greek often puts things back to front. So no, not if, not indeed if a lie brings salvation. Pos un blepon tis tauta tol mesai lekain. Now this is again idiomatic. So pos blepon, literally how then looking. So in other words, with what look on your face, with what expression then will someone dare lekain to speak these things? This is from the verb lasco. This is the aorist infinitive. Basic meaning of it is to rattle or crash, but it can be used in the sense of to tell a fair. Here it's being used in the sense of to tell a barefaced lie, but you can just translate it to speak. So how would one look? So with what expression would someone dare to speak these things? Hotan tidras eskeros uk oknein prepe. Whenever you do something for gain, it is not fitting oknein to shrink from it, or perhaps to hesitate was the word I was looking for before. So whenever you do something for gain, it is not fitting to hesitate. Keros demoi tituton es troion molen. And what gain is there for me for this man to come to Troy? Hyre ta toxa tauta ten Troian mona. He will, no, the subject is ta doxa. So these bows alone take Troy. So neuter plural singular verb here. So these bows alone are taking, we would say will take, but it's hyre o. Take Troy, capture Troy. Now that's interesting here because he gives the impression to Neoptolemos that you only need the bows, you don't need Philoktetes himself to be present. This particular part is not mentioned again anywhere in the play until we get to the very end when Heracles says it in line 1400, so it's a long way off. And in fact, Neoptolemos has the idea that he's the one that's going to take Troy, and we only need the bow, not Philoktetes. So something to keep in mind there. Uk ar hot person hos effasket aim ego, but surely is it not I? So you, as you were saying, is the one being about to to destroy, to sack Troy, understood. Person is future participle from pertho. So am I not then the one who's going to take Troy, to destroy Troy, as you, I think there's an epsilon elided here, as you maintain? Ut an su canon choris auta cana su. Not you without them, that is the bows, nor they without you. Theratia un genoit an a perhod eke. As usual, you've got to start at the second half of the sentence. So if it is thus, this is echo plus an adverb. So if that indeed is the situation, then these would be the things which must be hunted. This is verbal adjective, again a gerundive. So these are the things which must be hunted. So these things would then needs be hunted. So these would be the things which must be hunted if that is the case. The grammarians mention here that this is the only surviving example of gignomai instead of Amy used with a verbal adjective. Normally you get Amy. So if that is the case, then these things would, you get an an here, these things would be the things which must be hunted, which we've got to go after. Hos tutor ge exas due ferro deremati. And thus, indeed, the get is almost a yes here, affirming what's in the previous line. Having indeed done this, so that having indeed done this, you will win, this is Pharaoh in the middle, you will win two, well, boons or gifts or something. Now this is a duel. What sort of two gifts from Poios? For having learned this, I would not deny, perhaps almost refuse, todran, articular infinitive, the doing. So for having learned this, I would not deny, I would not refuse to do it. Sophos tana hautos kagathos keklei hama. At the same time, you would be called wise and the same man also good, literally. So this is keklei iot. There's an omicron elided here. This is a very rare example of a perfect optative passive. If you want to practice all your grammar, Sophocles is the place to go. He uses all sorts of very rare forms. This is a perfect optative passive. So at the same time, I think it is, you would be called, was Hama here again, so you the same man, at the same time you would be called Sophos, wise and good. Ito, well, something like let it go, I will do it. Now the iota's dropped out here because he wants a short vowel. So it's ito poes, so he needs a short vowel. It's from poio. So go, I will do it. Aphes, putting aside all shame. A mene monues un, so do you then remember therefore the things which I advised you? Know clearly, so know clearly that I do. Since sun, this is from sun ainio, it's balancing the line above, it's quite cleverly done there. So be it so, I will do it. Having put aside all shame, do you then, it's an ain for a question, do you then remember therefore the things which I advised you? Know clearly I do, since I have agreed ace hapax once and for all. And these two balance each other. Odysseus then says, Su men meno, you then, this is this weak enclitic nun, not really now, but it's a weakened form of noon. So see then, remaining here, wait for, so you remaining then, receive here that man, but I will go away, lest I might be spied being present. So passive here, there is passive subjunctive, and I will dispatch, future here from Apostello, I will dispatch again the scout. This is the guy that's gone looking, we mentioned before that he's a non-speaking character at this stage. So I will dispatch back the scout to the ship, and there, if you might seem in some way to be delaying in time, perhaps so tarrying in time, tarrying too long a time, perhaps lag behind time. So if you see to be taking too long is the sense of it, I will send him back again. I will send back again this same man, Dolosas. Well, it's perhaps something like having craftily concealed his morphine, his form, into the nature or the appearance, the nature of a ship owner. So having deceived in respect to his form, literally, in the nature of a sea ship owner, so that he might come, so that ignorance might accompany him, I think, might go with him, literally, basically the sense is that he won't be recognised, so that ignorance may attend him, literally. And then my child. Now I think the who and the participle here is a genitive absolute. And then my child, him speaking poikilos, well, cunningly, cleverly, in riddles, receive that which is useful, that which is expedient, continually receive that which is expedient from his words. So the idea is going to send him back, he's going to pretend to be a ship owner, and he's going to give hints as to what you have to do or say, and you have to listen carefully. So receive that which is expedient, that which is useful from the words, continually from his words. But I will go to the ship, having handed over these things to you. And we get a wish here. So may Hermes, the one who escorts, the cunning one, may he guide, knowing is dual, the two of us, may he be guide to the two of us, it's a dative, dual, and Athena Polios Nike. So Athena Nike, and who can always protects me, who always keeps me safe. Now there's mentioned in the commentators that there were two civic cults of Athena Nike and Athena Polias in Athens, housed in two different temples, but here I think they've combined the two into one expression here. So Hermes, the one who escorts, the cunning one, may he guide the way for the two of us, and Athena Nike Polias, who continually keeps me safe. And that is the end of the prologue, and we now have a choral ode.